Hello, this is Way of Weinstein, Amazon Prime's The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Wherever you may be and however you may be watching, Facebook Live, YouTube Live in the financial district of New York City. So I recently binge watched The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I must say, it is fantastic. I mean, it's a show that, if you haven't watched it yet, it's fantastic. So it takes place in 1958 in New York City, and it's about a Jewish family. Oh yeah, shocker. Why Way of Weinstein likes it. So the phenomenal thing. So the lead character, Miriam, Mrs. Maisel, and like most of the other characters who are playing Jews aren't actually Jewish in real life. So I'm going to try to pronounce her name, Rachel Brosnahan, who I'm like 90% sure is Jewish, who completely nails being the Jewish girl to a T. I mean, she deserves an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, a Tony. I mean, for God's sakes, no one really deserves the NFL MVP of that award. Give her that as well. She was wow. I mean, wow. I mean, the way she completely nailed the Jewish girl that everyone's in love with, spectacular. I mean, so it starts off with her wedding, and with the joke saying how I think the sprinkles, the egg rolls have shrimp in them, and then everyone starts to panic because it's not kosher, and you see that Austin, not only is she funny and just stunningly gorgeous, girl also makes latkes and brisket. So she's got it all. Fantastic. Now, the biggest stretch of the whole first season, which I get sets up the whole plot point, is her husband, Joel Maisel, played by Michael Zegan, leaving her. Now, let me get this straight. So you're leaving her a beautiful. Now this is all of her character. Now Rachel isn't. I believe not Jewish, but I'm just talking character in the show. So you're a Jewish guy married with 2 kids for 4 years, and you're leaving a beautiful Jewish girl who is funny and makes phenomenal brisket and latkes. I'm sorry. The idea of a Jewish guy leaving that, I can fathom a real-life Avengers or real-life Justice League. The Star Wars, all those characters being real. The First Order. The Rebellion. All that, I can fathom being more realistic than Joel leaving Midge Maisel, the aforementioned beautiful Jewish girl who's hilarious and makes brisket and latkes. Come on. She didn't even do anything. She didn't cheat on you. And she's bringing all that to the table. And because she didn't like your act, which you stole from Bob Newhart. So he's a guy who works a desk job that his father helped him get, because his father's brother worked there and he got him a good job, and he's trying to be a comedian as well. If you're going to try to be a comedian, don't just recite other people's, and no, don't. He says, "Oh, I have a different inflection and a delivery." No. So that was probably the biggest part of the series that I thought was unrealistic. And I'm someone who owns every single Marvel movie. I love Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. I love fantasy, so I can get in the moment and get when things aren't real and say that it's supposed to be for the story. But that, I can get it down with an Iron Man suit, Cap, Hulk, Thor. I can get down with all that being somewhat into that, sucked up into that world. But I cannot buy Joel leaving his wife, who has all those things. And then, so when she's all distraught because her husband left her, and she's got 2 kids, so she's drinking, she's on the subway, she goes to this old comedy club where her husband went to try stuff, and she's just spewing, saying how her husband left her, and she's saying Penny, Pam, who he left her for the receptionist, and she's killing up there. And then we get to arguably the second most important character of the season, and that's Alex Borstein, who you may recognize as Lois Griffin from Family Guy, who plays her agent and says that she's only seen this raw talent in 2 people in 15 years. She's the second person, and there's really whole ups and downs that they go through. They get blackballed. They fight back through it, and a couple other I want to highlight. So Miriam Midge Maisel, the main character, the aforementioned gorgeous Jewish girl who can make brisket and latkes and is actually really, really funny. So her parents, her father is Tony Shalhoub, who monk and a lot of other things, and her mom is Marin Hinkle. Now, her mom you may recognize from 2.5 Men. She played Jonathan Cryer's wife, and then divorced, and then yada 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 back. So that's what you may recognize her from. Now, they were both fantastic as her parents. I mean, again, I don't believe any of them are Jewish, but they completely knocked it out of the park, and they really captured the essence. Now, granted, I have no idea what 1958 New York was like, but just based on movies and just the way they captured the scene, they really made you feel that you were in that time period. Her father's, I believe, a teacher at Columbia who's a mathematics wizard, and her mother's a typical housewife who, when she hears a divorce, no, we're going to make something up because they're supposed to have Yom Kippur and have the rabbi over the next day, and they have a great dynamic. Now, a couple episodes in, her husband tries to get her back and says, I made a mistake, and which rightfully shows she doesn't take him back because, dude, if you're giving all that up, I really, really question your judgment. I mean, like how if you get a DWI because you're making the idiotic decision of driving while drunk, what you just did is 1,000 times dumber. Thousands. Now, later, like, her father gets a great job at Dell Labs, and which is great because he does a fantastic job of playing a course like, I don't know. And then when he gets home, he's like all excited, which he's a guy that doesn't show that much positive emotion. And how we're going out. So they go out to this Chinese restaurant, which they went to Ruby Foo. So I wonder if that's the same Ruby Foo's that used to be on, I believe, 47th and 8th. I mean, it was right by Times Square. I wonder if that was the exact same one. Not sure, but I went to Ruby Foo's a couple of times, really enjoyed it. So they happened to run into her husband, who she's separated from, Joel, and Penny Pan, the dumb receptionist that she left her for. So then they leave and they want to talk, and then she doesn't want it, which she shouldn't because he wronged her. So then he gets a place, and then he goes back. He leaves her, which he really never takes off the wedding ring. Which, Penny, I know you're stupid, but if he hasn't taken off the wedding ring, obviously that means he's not over it. So then they have a birthday party for one of their kids, and Ethan, the 4-year-old. So she's hungover, and then they start talking, and then they start kissing, and then she and her separate husband, they talk, they sleep together. He's saying, how was the dumbest mistake? Yeah, you think it was the dumbest mistake? Yeah, of course it was. So it looks like they're gonna get back together, but you know that's not gonna happen. And then just when like you think they're all gonna get back together, and she tells her father that thinks he's getting back together, and don't tell your mother, this is going to destroy her. The mother and the father having some issues. Then from there, he's in this store that Midge was at the whole season, and they capture that first night of her being on the set, the night that he left her, and he hears it, and it's right before he has this big business meeting. He's up for this big promotion that he can afford private schools and really take care of them and get him a nice apartment. And that completely messes it up. He messes up the presentation. He says he quits. Then the thing with Alex Borstein's character, she's fantastic. I mean, I didn't take a look at the Golden Globe and Emmy nominations, but obviously Rachel Midge deserves to get nominated. Alex Borstein, Susie Meyerson deserves to get nominated, and Tony Shalhoub, her father, Abe Weissman, they all definitely deserve to get nominated. And I will be stunned if Rachel, who plays the main character, Miriam, does not win. I will be stunned. And she will get robbed if she doesn't. She was fantastic. I mean, I just cannot overstate the performance she gave in this series. Whew. So she's killing it on this set after this who's supposed to be the most famous comedian at the time, Lenny Bruce, does Alex Borstein's character a favor, opens up, and her separated husband happens to check this out, and then him and Alex Borstein, Susie, they get into a fight, and she says, "You're going to be the loser that says I used to be married her and I messed up," which is probably going to be true because she absolutely killed, and that's probably the most I was laughing throughout the whole series whenever she was doing a set. So absolutely fantastic. I cannot recommend this more highly enough. I mean, the fact that you have, I'm not saying that if she was Jewish in real life that it'd be easier, but the fact that I'm 90% sure she isn't, and she completely nailed it to a T, and everyone else who played their Jewish characters well, and I'm pretty sure isn't Jewish, just absolutely did fantastic. I absolutely cannot wait until season 2. Give this a big 2 thumbs up. If you haven't watched it yet, definitely watch it. I mean, this is the reason to get Amazon Prime. I think it's the best thing that they have ever done. I think this may be better than potentially any Netflix show. I mean, it really captures what I feel the essence of what Broad City was in the first 3 seasons, with those strong, badass Jewish, absolutely hilarious characters of Abby and Alana, which like Alana, Rachel did go to NYU Tisch, graduated 2012, and ironically has the same birthday as me, December 15th, although she is 2 years younger than me. But yeah, so that's my review of season 1 of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. It definitely was marvelous, does not fall short of its name. If you like this video, like it, share it, comment it. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe to me on YouTube at Way of Weinstein. Have a great night.